Hey, what's up, people? You all right? It's nice to have you. Oh, look, I've got a new name. I'm called Dave Rennie. I like that. I'm going to put yoga with Dave Rennie. It's number 127 with me, Dave Rennie. And thank you for joining. It's a bit wham today, isn't it? I'm always talking about the weather as well. I'm so British. But yeah, thank you for joining. I'm going to turn the comments on. There we go. I'm Dave Rennie again now. Yeah, so the comments are on. So feel free. Leave any comments that you want. Only positive ones, though. And also any suggestions, anything you want to do in particular today, stick them in the comments, and yeah, we can kind of like drop in and get into that stuff. Feel free. You know, sometimes I teach classes where I'm like, what do people want to do? Because you never quite know what's people, you don't know where people's energy is at, and that's different every day, right? Sometimes you want to move and you want to sweat. I don't want to do that actually, but some people do. Some people like want to really feel like yoga's like kind of like a workout. But I always see yoga, not always, but a lot of the time I see yoga as actually, it's the opposite to exercise, right? Because exercise is kind of when we're, you know, very active and we're trying to achieve something some of the time, you know, it's kind of quite goal orientated, and we're trying to let a lot of that go in yoga. We're trying to kind of just let it drop away and just be. So instead of doing, we're doing instead of being, and I think that's a nice way to think about it, because it takes a lot of the pressure out of our physical practice. So if you're joining me on the mat today, like I would normally say, I would say this: please let go of any preconceptions of what this should look like, what it should feel like. Just be super curious, and we'll try and keep it a little bit chilled out today. I think we'll do a nice grounding sequence, so we'll spend quite a bit of time on our backs because we haven't done that for a little bit, and then we'll just see where we go. Let's keep it nice and relaxed at the start there, and we'll just get into our breath, and we'll just get into our physical body in a very gentle way. Just bring that awareness in. So what we'll do though, we'll start with a little bit of pranayama. We'll start with a little bit of breath work. Grab a drink if you want. I've got this little tea bag and it says this: see yourself in another, then be kind to yourself. See yourself in another, then be kind to yourself. I like that. Always being kind to yourselves, right? So have a good slurp of a tea or some water. And hi to Irene. Thank you for saying hello, Irene. Nice to have you with us. I'm just going to do a couple of adjustments. We're at the space to breathe again today. Oh, space to breathe. I'm just going to shut this door, actually. Give me 1 second. It's very quiet in here today, just in case we get any disturbances. And come sitting up nice and tall, any way that feels good for you. Now, I'm going to sit over my bolster because that's a really beautiful stretch into my ankles, and I'm about to have some physio on my lower leg, my lower left leg, upstairs. That's why I pointed upstairs, and I'm going to do that after this class. So it's a nice passive stretch. If you don't like sitting like this, sit in a chair or up against a wall, or just bring, you know, a position that feels good for you, something reasonable. And then draw some length into your spine. And as you do that, relax your shoulders down your back. And that is pretty much the opposite to this, you know, where the shoulders slump forward and the belly, there's not a lot of intention there. And then it's hard for us to kind of breathe into the space when we're in this position. So you just draw everything up and back, but not too much effort, you know. Afternoon to Margaret. And then maybe close your eyes and just check in like we normally do. Notice what's present. Notice what you brought onto your mat. And kind of feel all the sensations. So it might be the physical body that you're checking in with. Kind of bring that little micro awareness to the body. And then maybe a little bit of awareness into your breath, but don't force the breath in any way. Just let the breath come and let it go. And then maybe experience outside of yourself. So think about the temperature of the room. Think about the noises that you can hear, which are quite close. Might be in the house or the garden, or maybe something outside. And then think about the smell. Might be your smell or the smell of the room you're in. If you're burning, you know, maybe I've got some incense burning here, so I can smell the incense. That smells good. And maybe it's like a taste in your mouth. So all of your senses are open here. Just dropping your awareness on your whole being instead of doing. Just experience you as you are. And that's perfect, right? You don't need anything else. And then just very briefly, come back to your breath. Maybe draw your breath in just with a little bit more intention. So nice deep inhales and full exhales. One more like that, your deepest inhale and your fullest exhale. Beautiful. And then if your eyes are closed, just come with your eyes open. So I'm going to stay where I am. Now, if you're sat cross-legged, that's absolutely fine. If you're on a chair, you can still twist in the chair, by the way. If you're up against the wall, you might want to give yourself a little bit of room. So from whatever position you found yourself in, inhale, sweep your arms up into the air, and then just bring the hands together. Take a breath here, stretch up through the fingertips. Then as you exhale, twist over to your right. So you might have the left hand on the right knee. I'm just going to hold on to my bolster. And I'm thinking about length here. I'm thinking about length in my spine. And as I exhale, I'm just twisting over to the right, rolling my right shoulder back. But I'm not too concerned about getting into a big depth here. It's not about that. It's more about length in my spine and just twisting the spine on its axis. Nice. When you're ready, nice and gentle, come back to center and then inhale, sweep your arms back up. As you exhale, twist over to the left, so maybe the hand on the bolster or the knee. If you're not sat on a prop, then maybe the fingertips are on the floor, the palm of your hand. Lengthen the spine, inhale to find length, and exhale into your twist. There's going to be 2 more breaths like that, so nice deep inhale. A full exhale. And then one more deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. And then very gently, just come back to center. Nice. Give the shoulders a little roll out. Kind of roll them a few times in one direction, a few times in the other. Beautiful. And then just a little bit of movement through your neck. So you're just going to draw circles with your nose, keeping the jaw super relaxed. Maybe coming back to all those sensations that we were thinking about at the start of the class or 3 or 4 minutes ago. Always being aware of your breath. Inhale as the head comes up. Exhale as the chin falls down. Get into these nice fluid movements. And then just slowly come back the other way. Just a few rotations in the opposite direction. Stay super relaxed through the jaw. And think about your shoulders again. Relax your shoulders, maybe give them a little wriggle out. And then eventually bringing your head all the way back to center. Nice deep inhale here. And your fullest exhale. One more like that, your deepest inhale. And your fullest exhale. Yes, beautiful. All right, so from here, one more thing we'll do, and then we're going to come down onto our backs. So we're going to do this breath rhythm, and we'll probably keep coming back to this throughout the class. We'll maybe do it 2 or 3 times in different positions. So sitting tall, if you're sat cross-legged, then you can always bring your other shin in front. If you are on the floor and you want to go back to a chair or lean up against a wall, that's absolutely fine. Prop yourself up on some cushions. I'm going to stay where I am. I'm pretty comfortable. I'll probably regret that in a moment because I'm going to have to move, and I'm not very good in one position for too long. All right. So we're going to use this breath rhythm, and we're going to drop straight into it. If your eyes are closed, that's great. If your eyes are just nice and soft, bring them down towards the floor. And then inhale through the nose for a count of around 4. And then see if you can just pause your breath here. And the count is around 7. So longer than the inhale. Shoulders relaxed, face relaxed. Attention is just on the breath hold. And then you're going to exhale for around 6. Inhale for 4. When the lungs are full, pause the breath. Exhale for around 6. I think we did this breath maybe last week or the week before, and this longer exhale is working into the parasympathetic nervous system. So we're resting, we're digesting, we're calming everything down. Inhale for 4, so it's quite a strong inhale. Pause your breath at the top. Exhale for 6. Inhale for 4. Pause your breath. Exhale for 6. Just a little bit longer. Inhaling for 4. Pause your breath. Exhale for 6. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Pause it. Exhale. Inhale. Pause the breath. Exhale. Inhale. Pause it. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more rounds here. So inhaling for a count of around 4. Pause your breath. Exhale. Then final round. Inhaling. Pause your breath. And exhale. And then just let your breath come back to a nice steady rhythm. And just check in with the effects of that really quite nourishing, releasing, calming breath practice. And then if your eyes are closed, really gently open your eyes. Beautiful, everyone. I think that proves that, yoga doesn't always have to be about, expansive, energetic, flexible moves, right? This is yoga. This is sitting in your seat of awareness. This is yoga. And that kind of breath is so powerful. It really does calm the central nervous system. We spend so much time in this heightened sense of busyness or anxiety or all of those things, and it overloads the body. It's really not good for us. When we go to sleep, it's hard for us to sleep. When we eat, it's hard for us to digest our food. We're constantly on the go. And that breath is so powerful. And you can do whatever rhythm works for you. It's like it's a sharper inhale, it's a hold, it's a slight longer exhale than the inhale. You make it up. And I promise you, if you do that a few times a day, your body and your mind begin to recognize it. And it's like, this is what I need. This is what I need. And it'll be so good for you. We just need to carve this time out. I'm super busy at the moment, but that just helped me beautifully. Super, super busy. I'm doing so much. I'm going on holiday tomorrow. I'm all over the place. But that was beautiful. And I could have done that for 45 minutes, but you probably want to do something a little bit more varied. So we'll do that variation now. So however you're sat, if you're on a chair, then come off the chair. Let me just have a look at these comments. Yes, Margaret from Northumberland. Back there very soon. Who's that from? Is it Alita? Alita, is that how you say your name? Welcome from Glastonbury. Oof. Good old Glasgow, eh? Some good stuff happens there. Right, come to lie on your back and channel the thoughts of Glastonbury. Have a little slurp if you need. Love Glastonbury. First time I went was about 5 years ago. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? Been a few times now. All right, come to lie down, put your knees in towards your belly, and then just have a little roll around, a little rock. Notice how this feels. This can feel really good, can't it? Have a little wriggle out through your toes, and just bask in the sensation of you being on your yoga mat. Even if you haven't got a yoga mat today, then it's all good, right? You're just bringing that awareness into your body. Breathe super deep, maybe draw some circles of your hips, maybe hug the knees in a little bit more. And then bring the soles of the feet right down onto your mat and go wide with your feet. You might want to lift out through your tailbone and then slowly roll your tailbone back down. And then bring your palms so they're face up. Knock your knees together so your knees are touching. You get a little passive stretch here and a nice widening and flattening of the spine. See if you can lift one shoulder blade, lift your other shoulder blade, and then replace your shoulders back down on your mat. And then maybe lift your head really gently and see if you can find a little bit more length in the back of your neck. So your chin is tucked in very slightly. You can press your lower spine down into your mat and just feel that little engagement at your navel. And then just enjoy this very gentle sensation of just lying and breathing and being aware. Being present, being mindful, not trying to forget or detract from anything, just letting things be as they are, without too much attachment, too much judgment. And then just take a couple more rounds of breath here in constructive rest. And then when you're ready, just gently separate your knees and then bring your soles of the feet together. And then just let the knees fall open. And then maybe place one hand on the heart and one hand on your belly. And then just check in with your rhythm of breath. Notice how your breath feels in your body. As you inhale, breathe into that bottom hand. As you exhale, just letting the belly fall back towards the spine. A few more breaths like that. Nice. And then from here, bring your hands down, right onto your outer thighs, and then bring your knees together. Lift your feet, hug your knees back in towards your chest. And again, just a little bit more of a dynamic movement here. Maybe rock around a little bit. And then from here, we're going to go the opposite way. So we're going to bring the soles of the feet down onto the floor. And you're going to press into all four corners of your feet. Now what we're going to do is just little pelvic lifts, okay? So it's not a big lift, it's kind of like a mini bridge. So let's try and do this together. As you inhale, press your lower spine down into your mat. So you feel the whole length of your spine. As you exhale, press into your feet, just lift out through the tailbone. So you just lift your bottom off the floor. And then bring the spine all the way back down. So repeat that. Inhale. Press the lower spine down into the floor. As you exhale, just lift out through the spine. And then bring it all the way back down. So there's your rhythm. Inhale. Press the spine down. Feel that engagement in your navel. Exhale. Just roll up. Just a tiny little bit. Feel that engagement. Bring the spine back down. 3 more like that. Inhaling. Press the spine down. Feel the spine engage, the belly engage. Exhale. Press up. Spine comes back down on that exhale. Your next inhale, engage, press the spine down. As you exhale, bring your spine up. And as the exhale begins to diminish, bring the spine back down. 1 more like that. Inhale to engage, press down. Exhale, come all the way back up. And then this time, just keep lifting, 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 lifting. If you want to come up a little bit higher, you may find yourself in more of a bridge shape. So your knees are not too wide, and there's a slight internal rotation. You just breathe in here. Don't move your head. Gaze up towards the ceiling or the sky. Keep breathing deep and take 1 more round of breath. So nice deep, rich inhale. And a full exhale. Slowly bring everything down onto your mat. And then lengthen out through your legs. And just let your feet fall open. Bring your palms so they face up. Untuck your shoulders if they felt a little restricted. And then just breathe deeply here. Just the sensations of you, meeting you, lying here on your mat. Sensations on your breath and your physical body. And that idea of this practice of doing not a lot, right? In terms of a physical workout, but doing so much at that deeper, energetic level. So good for us. Beautiful. Bring your arms out so they're just in line with your shoulders. Beautiful. And then bend back into your knees and then place the soles of the feet wide again. So without looking, you can feel the long edges of your mat. Now, if you're not using a mat, go wider than hips distance. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, drop both knees over to the right. Now, they might just come here. That's absolutely cool. You know, if you've got any props, then you can always place something underneath this outer right hip. That's cool. Or if you've got a little bit more room, just drop all the way down. It takes me a few breaths to get there. You're going to feel something quite strong in this left hip. And then if you wanted to, you can follow that just by turning the gaze to the left. Take your deep, rich inhales. And full release and exhales. 1 like that. 1 more like that, I should say. So nice deep inhale. And full exhale. Beautiful. Very gently, bring your head back to center if it was turned to the left. Then inhale your knees back up. And then exhale your knees to the opposite side. And again, if you want to support out under this left thigh, that's fine. Maybe a blanket or some cushions. Or maybe as the exhale just begins to deepen, you can bring that out left leg all the way down. And then hopefully feeling something here in this right hip. And then you can always turn your head, the eyes can be closed, or your gaze can be soft. You're just breathing it out here, gentle, gentle movements. And then from here, just take one more complete round of breath. And then slowly bring your knees all the way back to center. And then just walk the feet in just a little bit. All right, have a little wiggle if you need. And then we're going to come into a little bit more work into the hips. So this is reclined pigeon pose. So you're going to lift out through the right foot and then cross the right foot over the left thigh. And let's just all do this together first of all. Just hold on or use the right hand just to push the right knee away. So you just open out through the right hip. Feeling the compression around here, the inside of the right hip, as you push the leg away. Now, for some people, you won't feel much. So if you want to, you can thread through the gap, grab around the back of the left thigh. And here you can kind of access the right glute a little bit more. Shoulders are relaxed, back of the neck is long. And you can always rock it out a little bit, rock out on the spine. That can feel quite good. We're looking for a reasonable sensation, so not too much, not too little. If you need any more sensation, think about your left knee and just push the left knee a little bit more up against that right ankle. And then you'll feel more of an opening through the right hand side of the hip. Take one more round of breath. And then as you exhale, just unravel really slowly and then swap that out. So we'll do the same thing. So left foot over the right thigh. Use the left hand just to push the left knee away, just for a few breaths. Again, feel free to rock this out a little bit. Notice what you're feeling. If you're not feeling a huge amount, go through the gap, go around the back of the right thigh, back of the right leg, I should say. And then again, rock it out. If you need more sensation, just push the right knee against the left ankle a little bit more. Close your eyes and just drop into whatever sensation you're feeling. Reasonable effort, right? Not too much, not too little. Take a couple more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, just slowly unravel, nice and gentle. And then from here, nice little counter posture, put the knees back in and draw some circles with your knees. So you're going to bring the hands on the inner knees and then just draw some circles. So big circles, nice and slow. And pick one direction and then maybe come back and then go in the opposite direction. Nice and slowly. Beautiful, nice. And then lay your legs all the way down your mat. On your next inhale, you're just going to sweep your arms up into the air. As you exhale, let the arms fall behind the head. So you're a nice long version of yourself. Adapt this pose any way that feels good for you. So we're just going to do a really nice stretch down the right-hand side of the body here. So on an inhale, lengthen through the right fingers and through the right toes. So you feel that tremendous activation through the right-hand side. As you do that, see if you can really relax the left-hand side. Keep breathing. As you exhale, just relax everything in. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, lengthen through the left. Breathe in deeply here. Relax it through the right. Thinking about drawing all that length in. And then exhale, let it all go. And then this time you're going to stretch through the right arm. And then as you exhale, stretch through the left leg. So right arm, left leg. So a little trickier, but you go across the body. A couple of breaths here. Maybe you feel it in your navel and your belly. And then exhale, let it go. And then stretch through the left fingers, through the right toes or the right leg. Couple of breaths. And exhale, let it go. Beautiful. One final time, hug your knees in towards your belly. And then when you're ready, just roll over to one side. And just take a couple of balancing breaths here. Have your head down on your bottom hand. Use it as a little cradle. And just following the trajectory of this class where it's nice and relaxing, calming the central nervous system. Just bring that balance back into your body. Nice. And then when you're ready, press into your top hand and then come all the way up. Nice, everyone. Beautiful. All right. Grab a drink if you need one. And then come onto all fours. Do that really gently. We'll kind of keep moving slowly today. And then big spread out through your fingers. Have a look down at your knees and have your knees about hip width apart. So you're in this tabletop position. All right, let's keep the spine moving or move the spine. We've only done a little twist at the start. So as you inhale, drop your belly down. Lift your head, lift your heart. As you exhale, round your spine, press into the hands. Inhale forward. Exhale round. Inhale forward. Exhale round. 3 more like that. And then when you're ready, split the knees nice and wide, big toes come together, and then just bring your heels back into child's pose. You sit bones back into child's pose. And if you find that it's hard to get here, then maybe you make fists and you can just place your head on your fists, or maybe the hands, or place a blanket or a bolster underneath your body. And see if you can drop into some relative stillness and just breathe the goodness of this gentle stretch into the hips and the spine. A really nourishing pose. And sometimes it takes a few breaths to kind of drop into it, so be patient. And then take a couple more complete rounds of breath. When you feel ready, just bring yourself back and then lay your forearms down onto your mat. Shoot your legs back nice and slowly. Come to lie down on your belly. And then take your time here to walk your elbows right underneath your shoulder heads. Spread out through your fingers. Have your feet about hip width apart. And then root down into your forearms and then just lift your chest. And you just lift out as you press down. Imagine clawing the mat back towards you. And then you should feel this slight compression in your lower spine. Now, if it's too strong, Just bring the elbows out wider, and then you can be here. Maybe the forehead's down on the floor. So don't push this one. This is Sphinx pose. But it's a nice natural stretch into your sacral lumbar arch. It's the lower part of our spine. Sometimes nice just to drop back into the breath. Well, always nice to drop back into the breath, but sometimes nice to close the eyes and then just drop back in. And then from here, just take a couple more rounds of breath, that's all. And then wing your elbows out nice and wide, and then just look over to the right, and then bring your right knee in line with your right hip. This is half frog pose. So the right knee is in line with the right hip, and just breathe it out here. And then slowly just swap that out. Just come to the other side. Left knee in line with the left hip. Just turn the head to the left. Settle down for a few nourishing breaths. And just very gently all the way back to center. And then press into your hands. Keep your elbows tucked right in, and then use your arm strength. Nice and gentle. Push yourself all the way back onto all fours. Realign your spine. Think about your knees being underneath your hips. And then just move through a few more rounds of cat and cow. Just to get the spine moving after a little bit of work there into the lumbar spine. Beautiful. And then from here, just to lie back down on our mats. I spend a couple of minutes here. And it's been, a relatively relaxing class, but this is the magic, right? When you just let everything integrate. So find a shavasana that works for you. Make any necessary adjustments. And then just let it all go, drop it all away. when you're ready, just very gently, slowly, come back to your physical body and bring some movements back in, fingers and your toes and ankles and the wrists, so you give yourself your body stretch. Maybe there's a big yawn. It's kind of mid-afternoon, so you can sometimes feel like this is your time to really relax, especially after a yoga practice like that. You can feel very chilled out. So just bring that gentle movement back in, maybe knocking the knees either side. And then when you're ready, just rolling over to one side again and pressing out through your top arm. And then come back to a seated position. Nice. Beautiful. All right. Come with this spine nice and long. And bring your hands up, palms face up. Maybe close your eyes. Just check in with the effects of your practice. Maybe in these final few moments, just dedicate your practice to yourself or somebody that might need your love, your energy. And gently softening your hands just onto your heart center. And just with a wholehearted bow, wish yourself well and wish everybody else well. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today. Let me just adjust this camera here. Yeah, sometimes a very chilled practice is what we need, and hopefully that worked for you. Love that breath pattern. We didn't do it with nostrils, but you can do it the same. You can block off a nostril, inhale for 4, you can hold, and then you can exhale, or you can just do it how we did it by breathing through both nostrils. And it's very calming. In fact, it was so calming then it was really hard for me to move for the rest of the class. So do that at night time. Do it before you go to bed, because it's an amazing thing to do. Any time in the day, but I think in the evening it's really powerful. So I probably said this last week and I got it wrong. The next 2 weeks I'm away. I'm going to Italy, so that'll be nice. And Carolina is teaching for the next 2 weeks. So expect some magic from Carolina. I've been working with her really closely on some projects here at Space to Breathe. And yeah, she brings so much energy and goodness. And I'm sure you know her and you will enjoy her classes because they're very varied. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys the second week of September. So for now, thank you so much. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Margaret. Anyone else who joined today, thank you so much. And I'll catch up with you guys on the other side. All right, take care, everyone. Bye now.